This one's gonna be about, oh, my camera's as straight as I am. Please, stay up. I'm using my phone to record this if you couldn't tell. You know what, that's good enough. Okay. Stay up, please. I don't know. I was gonna say, am I straight? No, I'm not. Now that we're set up, yeah, I'll take you through the plans I have for my short film. This is going great.
So, my vlogging skills from the beginning of the term were incredibly good, but we're gonna try this again. Hi, my name is Jess, and I just finished my 3rd year of my animation degree. This year we had to make a 1-minute experimental animation piece, so I thought it might be fun to record it and bring y'all along for the ride. So the first thing we've got to start with is some previs work. So that's character designs, world building, storyboards, the general ideas that we want to explore. My film's called A Rose by Any Other Name. I wanted to explore the themes of identifying as aro ace in a society that revolves so heavily around romance. And yes, I did read Romeo and Juliet specifically so I could justify using that title. Romeo and Juliet is what we think of as the quintessential love story of star-crossed lovers and their tragic love, but at the heart of it, you've got this theme of 2 young people who were failed by the adults in their lives, who were so rigid in their hatred for one another that they couldn't see how it was hurting their kids. It's seeing the world one way such that you become blind to the consequences until it's too late. Or in this case, seeing the world through the rose-colored glasses of amatonormativity and being unable to realize that some people just don't experience the world like that. Amatonormativity is the idea that everyone wants to have your standard romantic relationship. It's that idea of getting married in your late 20s and buying a house with a white picket fence and having 2.5 kids. Obviously, most people don't actually fall into that, but there's this pressure that's constantly present when everyone you know is talking about dating and partners and, oh, it's been like 2 months since my last relationship, I've got to download every dating app or I'm gonna die forever alone and the world's gonna end. You get the gist. Since this was meant to be an experimental animation, I took inspiration from magazine pages. Do you ever go to a grocery store to buy milk and you're waiting in line and all you can see is rows and rows of celebrity magazines speculating about who's dating who and how to get the perfect, most attractive body, etc., etc. I wanted to build the world of this film around that experience. Everywhere the character looks, everything in the world is made of these pages of subliminal messages. The original plan was to make a fake gossip magazine for this, but then YouTube started recommending me a lot of videos about zines and I went, I could do that. The real mixed media part of the film is the stop-motion rose petals. I wanted to use flower language to represent 2 types of love, romantic and platonic. Red roses are associated with romantic love. Walk into any store around Valentine's Day, there's no escaping them. On the other hand, yellow roses represent friendship and platonic love. The main character is yellow, surrounded by a world of reds and pinks. As the film goes on, the red roses take up more and more space, trying to suffocate them. It's kind of like Hanahaki disease, only instead of choking on your affections for someone, you're choking on the affections everyone else tells you you should be having. It takes another yellow character, someone who understands what they feel, or rather don't feel, to pull them out of the roses and try to suffocate them. And shout out to this one YouTube comment for summarizing it far better than I could. The first task of turning this into an animation, though, was to actually visualize all these ideas. For our class, we had to create a mood board to try and convey what we wanted this film to look like. I like to make Pinterest boards for every project I do, so I kind of just threw together some collage works, colors, this cool painting that I really like that captured the vibes well.
So I had a meeting with my prof this morning just to talk about the film so far, stuff I've been working on, ask her some questions. And so I showed her this mood board that I made. This is all part of like the next assignment we have, which is just like previs. So it's basically I took a Pinterest board that I already had, and then I just tried to find all the ones that I could cite. Yeah, just get the vibes down. And then I have these two concept art things. The first one is just a doodle that I did when I was like trying to come up with the idea. I was like, oh, wouldn't it be fun to like have someone like drowning in flowers? So that's a thing that's gonna be happening. And then the other one is like a mock like magazine thing that I made. It's basically, you know, those like trash like gossip magazines that you see when you're like in like the line for like a grocery store. It's basically like those, being like, why are we so invested in all these like in like the love lives and like personal lives of all these celebrities? Like I think their music is a lot cooler than who they may or may not be dating, but I that might just be me. No, I say that now, but I spent the entire afternoon reading fanfiction. I'm in class. No one else is here, so I'm taking the opportunity to do a little update. So our VizDev stuff was due today actually in half an hour. So I'm just we're gonna do critiques in class today. So I'm just gonna show you what I've got for that. So we've got some sound effects, possible sound effects. It's kind of just like a brainstorming type thing. And then we've got the mood board, which I think are shown already, but we're showing it again. And we've got some character explorations. We've got this style frame that I did. We've got this like fake magazine cover. This is like generally what like it's not gonna look this bad, but it's gonna be like collaged buildings and stuff in the background. And then this is like the concept for the installation, which hopefully I'll get a chance to do because I think it'll be really cool. Also, a moment to observe. These are our outlets. This is the floor. It is physically impossible to reach those, and usually they don't work. So we're charging my iPad in a tiny corner because our school's built smart.
Then we actually had to storyboard it. We drew out our thumbnails on sticky notes and then drew them out as actual storyboards. Since color was really important for my story, and I apparently had way too much time on my hands, mine ended up being fully colored in the first draft. Which also meant the animatic was fully colored.
Okay, so weekly update. I finished my storyboard, which I guess I'll put up here. Am I a proper YouTuber? Oh my god. Yeah, so I have the storyboard. I colored it in because I needed to be able to visualize like the reds and the yellows, because that's like gonna be color is gonna be a big thing in this film. And then what I did was I took out all like the action arrows and I made a color script to kind of like see how all the colors look, and it honestly turned out really nicely. I had a moment where I sat there and I was like, oh my god, I'm a professional artist. And yeah, I'm so excited to work on this film. We're doing We're doing storyboard reviews today, like a little crit thing, so we can like look at each other's storyboards, give notes. So hopefully I don't have to change too much because I don't want to redraw frames. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. Gonna be surreal. I forgot about this vlog. But update. We've just put together some like assets, lists, and like timelines, shot lists. Nothing interesting. We're starting the animatics. Kinda took a break for Christmas break. But now we're starting to get back into it. So come along.
The shot list was an itemized list of every single shot we needed to animate, which we then broke down into an asset list of every individual thing we needed to draw or animate in those shots, and then a timeline for when we wanted to get each thing done. It's a lot, but incredibly useful in the long run. The animation process took the entirety of the winter term. I managed to break it up by putting together the scene that I wanted to use in the animation, which definitely made it more fun and definitely wasn't me procrastinating by cutting out cool pictures. I scanned it in to import into Toon Boom, which was the program that I was using, and ended up printing it on this pink paper, which also meant I had pink paper for other shenaniganery, like printing out essay notes for another class and making them scented.
It's pink.
Oh, and it's scented. I think it gives it a little something extra, don't you think?
And then there was the stop motion animation. I do like stop motion. It can be really fun. I just happened to schedule it on a busy day and I really wanted to go home and take a nap. But yeah, there was nothing fancy about the actual animating. It was, your standard animating on 2s and a 24 frame per second file. Would not recommend trying to do the entire 1 minute animation in one file. My MacBook did not like that. It was holding on for dear life.
Just cutting usually. Last time here. Start cutting strings.
I just finished editing the final cut of the animation. I forgot to film all of the editing, but it was boring, so you probably didn't want to see that anyways. But I finally finished editing it, and now it's time to upload it. Yay!
So the installation was something I came up with at the beginning of the year to make it more experimental, and at this point I was like, I have the time, I might as well do it,
Hiya! So today is critique day, so I have a suitcase and also my backpack of just installation materials. I had to simplify it because I have to commute into the city to get to school, and I don't want to carry my entire house on the train. So I understand the drawing and painting students now. This is gonna be a time. Oh yeah, also, I tried to do like rose brambles as my eyeliner to kind of just match the vibe of my piece. We're very pink today.
The idea of the installation is that it takes place in the main character's bedroom. Obviously, I'm not in a bedroom, but we could pretend the corner of this classroom has more walls. The bed was just a table I threw some bedding over, and the side table was something I found around the school while picking up equipment. Everything else was pretty much just red or pink stuff I had laying around my room that I could feasibly take on the train with me. The rose petals were the most fun part of the installation, but they were not the most fun part of cleaning up. There were 2,000 rose petals. Shout out to Jessica and Jeffrey for helping me clean those up because, my god.
I just realized I didn't actually explain what was in the installation. So it was set in the character's bedroom, and the animation was projected on the wall to kind of like be set in the window. Couldn't put curtains up because I couldn't install curtain rods. But yeah, you had like the rose petals kind of scattered around the ground and on the bed, kind of like it was coming out of the screen into the space. I had the zine that I took the collage pages from. There were lots of like random like red and pink objects from around the room. Also on the walls there were like a bunch of sticky notes that had like lyrics from songs that I associate with being Arroways. I'll put a link to the Spotify playlist in the description because that was fun to make. Random notes, like I think I wrote like some definitions on there. There was one that was like date at 8 p.m. with like a bunch of question marks. And yeah, it was fun to hide a lot of little things. But yeah, the critique went well. I had a lot of fun putting it together. It ended up looking really cool, and now I'm just thinking of if it was in an actual gallery space, it would look even cooler, especially if I got to paint walls. But I do not have the budget for that. So despite how insanely stressed this project made me at times, it was really fun. I do like installation. I keep somehow incorporating it into my work, despite the fact that I commute and it sucks to bring things in, but throwing rose petals around the room is a vibe. It's also got me excited for 4th year and thesis and what I might make then. No solid ideas yet, but we'll see. Anyways, thanks for coming along on this little self-indulgent log of the stuff I did this year. Maybe I'll make more, who knows? Well, I know. I do have other stuff filmed that I might edit, so I guess stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, let me know if you want to see more, and I'll see you next time, I guess. Is this how you do YouTube? Oh my god, this is just me pretending to be my Homestuck D&D character, isn't it?